Welcome, Scarefest fans. This is Joe Lewis with another review. I have to give a shout out to my new social media friend, I guess. We've been going back and forth, and he's mentioned me, and I've mentioned him. I'd like to say that Glenn did an excellent interview with a director named Richard Stanley a few weeks ago. I'm really jealous. If I inspired him to talk about frog dreaming, which you should watch, it's on Amazon. When I watched it as a kid, it was The Quest, and when I watched it so many times growing up, I encourage you to check out Fake Shemp and his Richard Stanley interview. Reason I bring up Richard Stanley is he's an interesting cat, and he did a movie, a horror film, an H.P. Lovecraft film called Color Out of Space last year, and didn't get to watch it. I finally got to watch it last night thanks to James Thomas for my late birthday present. Color Out of Space is a Lovecraft short story. It's got Nicolas Cage in it. It's directed by Richard Stanley, whose notoriety probably comes more from the movies he didn't make and from the failed Island of Dr. Moreau. Check out that documentary. It's called Lost Souls. He directed Dust Devil. He directed Hardware. I think most people remember him from the absolute cluster that was the Island of Dr. Moreau in the 90s. Color Out of Space. Is it any good? It's beautiful. It's the only movie you're going to get with Tommy Chong and Nicolas Cage battling aliens who have some sort of pink, beautiful color. What else do you need? I get a little criticism on here for saying the third act sucks. Well, not in this movie. The problem is with the first two acts. The third act in this movie is fantastic. I had two issues with The Color Out of Space. Basically what it is this family. They live on a farm out in the middle of nowhere. An asteroid comes, lands on their farm. They start acting weird. It infects the water. There's colors at night. Things start to transform. The aliens from another dimension, from another world. If you're familiar with Lovecraft, then you should understand how this works out for them. Not very well. Should you watch it? Absolutely, if you're a fan of Lovecraft. It's a different interpretation. It's much more different than the Stuart Gordon films like Reanimator, From Beyond. There's a host of other Lovecraft. Actually, the best Lovecraft movie is not even called Lovecraft. He's called Sutter Kane in that movie, and it's John Carpenter's In the Mouth of Madness. That's actually the best Lovecraft movie. Sorry to everyone out there. No, it's not Reanimator. It's In the Mouth of Madness. So, Color Out of Space. The actual issue I have with it is tone and Nicolas Cage's performance. Now, you're going to get a great Nicolas Cage performance in most things, that it's going to be all over the place. It's going to be crazy. This one is a little all over the place in a bad way. And it also matches the tone of the movie. There will be an absolutely bonkers creepy scene. There is a extremely under your skin scene with a mother and the son that are starting to become something else, and a baby crying's voice coming from that thing that got to me. And then 30 seconds later, Nicolas Cage enters the room, says something stupid. Lots of characters in this movie say something stupid. No one would behave this way while it was going on. No one would react this way. This is an irrational film. Now, is that his intent? I'd like to talk to him more and ask him. That's the big issue I have, is that sometimes characters behave in ways that they shouldn't. But the third act of this movie brings it all together, and it is so batshit crazy, it makes everything wonderful. So I love the third act of this movie. The first two, a little shaky. It's beautifully shot. It's quite uneven, and it's actually one of my least favorite performances from Nicolas Cage. If you're a fan of Lovecraft, check out Color Out of Space. If you're a fan of Richard Stanley, or if you've ever seen Hardware or Dust Devil, check out Color Out of Space. And I highly recommend, if you're a friend of Lovecraft, In the Mouth of Madness. If you're a fan of Stanley, Lost Souls, the documentary about the making of the Island of Dr. Moreau. And go out and check out my friend's two-part interview with Richard Stanley, okay? This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you so much.